Not everyone has options when it comes to hunting and having enough stands where you can say this is a morning stand, this is an evening stand, early season rut stand, maybe even a late season stand, and or maybe a combination, of those stands in one stand. But we all have our favorite stand, and I think it really helps to identify and look at your favorite stands as you want to have a purpose of why you're going in to sit down. Obviously, you want to get away from work, maybe stress, relax, enjoy the outdoors. But at the same time, when I go in and I'm hunting, I can do a lot of those things doing other things. I love fishing, for example. We go up to Canada fishing quite a bit, fish out in the Mississippi River. So I love fishing. I love hiking. I love taking a cruise and looking at the bucks out in the fields. There's a lot of ways that I can relax and really just wind down without having to go in and hunt. But I love hunting, of course. And the difference with hunting is when I go into hunting location, even my favorite spots, I expect success. So when you're looking at some of your favorite stand locations this year, is that stand ready to be hunted? Just because it's opening day doesn't mean you should go in there and hunt it, because you need to look at the hunting season as more of a marathon, not a sprint. You need to look at your stands as looking at it like, man, I need to protect this stand. I need to go in there when the getting's good and where I have the great potential for a hunt when I go into that stand. There's 3 ways I want you to identify if this is a great spot to go to or not. And this is one of my favorite stand locations here. I want to point out we have a redneck right up there for gun season. It's a good spot, nice hidey hole. We have this beautiful little food plot that we carved out this year, and you can barely see the redneck up on that 2-track. We have shots down to this food plot. We have shots on a 2-track up above. So for gun season, we access from the back there around the corner near a neighbor's house. So really good access. We can blow our scent that way. So perfect for getting in and out. We don't have to come through our big bedding areas and food sources, everything this way. We can simply come in from a back door entrance, get into this spot. So pretty low impact, but at the same time, when are we gonna come in here and hunt? You see our ladder stand right up here. We have a family tradition ladder stand in this clump of trees. And so really cool for bow hunting or gun hunting this spot. Gun hunting, I'd rather sit up there in a really hidey hole hidden spot so we don't have to ever come down on this food plot. But we're gonna make that risk to come in here. We could come in here early season, October lull, rut, late season, and when are we going to come in here? And that first one I want to talk about is historical patterns of use. Now the reason we have the stand down here is historical patterns of use. We've had cameras down here for 3 years now, 2 years now. It's be the 3rd season, and we get a lot of use of some of our best mature bucks traveling through this bottom, whether it's over there 50 yards, crossing the culvert right here, back and forth across what was a really small field here, about 15-20% of the size it is right now. But historically, we get great use down here early to mid-October through about December. That's a historical use window. So that's one way. We just, without even doing anything else, we look at it, hey, historically, from either seeing bucks or having a trail camera down here, we know that this is the great time for bucks to be down here. Now, sign-wise, current rubs and scrapes. And you can see the scrape over here that we have a trail camera on. We have the trail camera on, scrape, but we have other rubs and sign in the area that could be popping, and it will be shortly here. Once the velvet's off the bucks, they'll be rubbing here in a little bit, starting to hit some scrapes too, more actively. But can you get in and out of the stand without spooking deer, in and out of that area? There's a lot of places where if you can just come in, touch to the side like we can here, we can look down here and say, wow, scrape's really active. You can see urine in it. There's fresh rubs. Historically, we know that window too, but boy, right now we have current buck use in here. That's when I want to hit. A lot of times we're waiting for that magical time of the year and we're missing a golden opportunity because we haven't just stuck our head in here and looked at the actual sign. And then third, camera. Obviously, if we have a cell camera on here, which we do, we'll have a solar panel on it so it can run the entire season, hopefully 2 seasons in a row with that solar panel on the reveal. But bottom line is, we have a setup here where we can watch this with a cell camera and see what bucks are here currently. We don't want to wait for that magical time. A lot of people say, well, I want to hunt November 6th. Historically, that's always been a great time. What if the buck's there October 10th, 15th? The best time to hunt that buck is right now, whether you're seeing the sign, rubs, trail camera, If you don't have either of those, you hunt historically. Let me tell you something about historically. We had a stand. This is going back to probably 2008, 2009. I was hunting in Wisconsin, a property we hunted for a very long time. And historically, great use with a certain water hole. And I couldn't wait to sit there. It was my first sit of the season, waited for a cold front. Beautiful time to go into the woods. It was about 1.25 miles back from where we park. We had to walk across a major cow pasture just right out in the open, walk through the open fields for a 1/2 mile, and then sit down. So instead of going back there and checking the trail camera, looking for sign, I went by historical, and I thought, you know what, this would be a great place to sit. I was a little lazy. We had some lunch, shot our bows, and then I made that trek out to the stand location, sat down, and I set a slow evening. I saw a little young 10-point, a couple smaller bucks, some does and fawns, and it just didn't have that appeal. I didn't see the sign when I went in there, didn't see the rubs and scrapes, and sure enough, didn't see the sightings along with it. And then at the same time, then I pulled the card to the camera. Hadn't been a mature buck on there for 2 months to show me that there was anything there to actually go in for. So when I come into this stand, historical sign is one thing, but if I can see current rubs and scrapes, or I can get that trail cam pictures, that's what I really want to go by, because when I come in here, it's a special set. It's one of my favorite stand locations. I know you guys have your favorite stand locations out there. So when I go in, I expect success, and we'll do that here. I don't even think we'll poke our heads in here to look at sign until we actually come in here to hunt. Then if I come in here to hunt, we haven't had the trail cam photos, we don't see any sign, rub, scrapes around here, I might wonder why I'm sitting here. But we're going to get some indications with the camera. We already have. I want to make sure that's current. Historical sign says they're here by a certain time, but I want to know that right now they're here. So really hunt current sign, doesn't matter if you're on public or private land. And then finally, you have it all coming together. Historically, they're here during a certain time. You have rubs and scrapes that are fresh and present and being used right now, just laid down. And then you're getting some great trail cam photos of at least some deer in the area. It's all coming together. And you got to choose the best weather. That's why I created the weather hunting algorithm a long time ago, published it in the 2016 Rut issue of Outdoor Life. That's why HuntWise got a hold of me to help develop their HuntCast and infuse that algorithm into there. It's a weather prediction model. I have the link in the actual description of this video. You guys get a percentage off if you go sign up. But bottom line is, weather trumps everything when it comes to deer movement. People say, well, the weather doesn't have any effect on deer movement. Again, let me ask, blizzard, 50-mile-an-hour winds, driving rain, thunder, lightning. People can say, yeah, we've seen a mature buck during those times, but it's the exception, not the rule. Obviously, weather to some extreme always affects deer movement. It'll pin them down. Think thunder showers, literally thunder and lightning coming down and heavy pounding rain. Deer aren't going to move much. That's just common sense. So the weather does influence deer movement. It might just put them in front of your stand location during the daylight versus at dark. They might even move the same amount during the day. They're just moving more in a 24-hour period. They're just moving more when it's light out and during shooting hours. So when it all comes together, you see those indications to go hunt, wait for those. But then lastly, once it's all coming together movement-wise, wait for that great weather pattern. Those great weather patterns are extreme temperature changes and drops in temperature. Pressure doesn't have much to do with it, because you can still have a good pressure day, but the day before was better because that's when the storm cleared out. Maybe the winds are too high still. The bottom line, really look at those physical, tangible factors in the weather. Extreme temperature drop, wind speed change, not to calm, could be from 35 to 20 miles an hour. Look for the extreme weather to subside, meaning pounding rain, thunder showers, blizzard, heavy snow, hail, sleet, whatever it might be. Look for those calming cold conditions on the backside, and that'll really lead you to success. That's why I rely on those factors, and I have for over 30 years really been studying the weather and how it affects deer movement, because I've never really had time to waste. When I come into my favorite stand location that I've dreamed about all year, I want to make sure that I have a reasonable chance of success, and then I'm not coming in here and leaving my scent around, making noise, spooking those deer away. I'm coming in here thinking, you know what? I have a really high chance that I'm going to shoot that target buck I'm after tonight this morning, whatever it might be. And if you hunt patiently like that, you look for a strong indication from those 3 factors for coming into the stand location, usually all 3 combined, at least 2 out of 3. And then you wait for the weather conditions to improve within those 2-3 days. Just pick the best weather day out of the weekend to hunt your favorite stand. Slant your long weekend to a Monday, Saturday and Sunday instead of a Friday, Saturday and Sunday, if that's the way the weather's shaping up. Slant your hunt within a few days of those conditions all aligning to the weather, and then you'll be right on track for consistent success, not only this season, but every season that follows for the rest of your hunting days. I appreciate you guys watching the YouTube channel, but I don't know if everyone knows everything that we have to offer, whether it's on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, our website, our WHS Wildlife Blends, our seed company. Also Instagram you can check out. I'm very active on Instagram, putting strategies on there, photos of what we do every day. Much more active there than Facebook. But our seed, web classes, books, clients, articles. I have over 600 articles on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, everything whitetail strategy. Of course, we have hats on there, and then make sure to check us out on Instagram again. But lots of stuff to offer. We're always coming out with new things, and this isn't the end of it. We have more things coming soon. Make sure to check us out.